So, first drive since I got the service. It was the 20,000 kilometer service. The goal today is to drive south to this lookout point and stay there for a bit. I imagine there will be a lot of motorcycles out today. This past week, it's been actually 2 weeks, it's been really nice weather in Sweden, like 20 to 25 degrees and sunny. I almost think that's too warm to ride, to be honest. So while I'm on this short ride, I thought it would be fun to share my motorcycling journey, where I started, and share some pictures as well, because obviously I haven't filmed anything until now, which is sad because I've been on some trips that I would have loved to film. Like when I was in Thailand in 2020, I drove enduro off-road, but I have a lot of pictures, and I thought it'd be fun to put them in the video, because one of the things I regret is definitely not filming that. So when I was 17, when I was in high school, I bought my first motorcycle, which is the Yamaha MT-03, the old version, or the old model, sorry, from 2007 or 2008. And I really liked that bike. I thought it looked really cool because the suspension was on the side of the bike, sideways. Immediately after I got my A2 license, when I was 18, just a few days after I actually had my physical license in my hand, I drove to Germany, and it was in the middle of October, and it was really cold, and I didn't even have a Sina, just earphones with a cord and a backpack, and that was my first real adventure without my dad, who I had practice drive with. And for the next 3 years, I mainly just drove around in Sweden. I commuted to work on that motorcycle. I put a lot of kilometers on that motorcycle in just a few years. In January 2020, I spontaneously decided to book a flight to Chiang Mai, Thailand, and do a off-road bike tour with this company called Passion Enduro, because the summer before January 2020, I got really into riding enduro bikes, and I bought my first enduro bike then as well, which was the WR250F. I drove it on this enduro track that we have close to where I live. I honestly didn't have much experience when I went to Thailand, but I just did it. And that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. It cost me, I think it was 30 or 40,000 baht, so around $1,000 for the whole tour. It was 4 days, all the food, all the gas, and the bike and the hotel and everything was included for those 4 days. And we started in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and drove to this little coffee house. It was a coffee house hotel in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the jungle, on these beautiful roads. And then the second day we drove up to Pai. It's a little like hippie town in the north of Thailand. And then we drove to Chiang Dao on the fourth day, and then back to Chiang Mai. The tour guide I had, his name was Tui. He was such a cool tour guide. It was just me and him driving. And the owner of that company told me that I was the youngest girl who had been on that tour, and I was the only one who had gone alone. I thought that was pretty cool. Actually, I'm gonna go like this. But yeah, I think everyone, when they start riding motorcycles, they either get hooked on to one type of riding, and for me it was definitely off-road driving, because I love to drive gravel roads, and I don't want to be limited to where I can drive. The guy that I had on that trip, Tui, he offered to take me on another tour with just him to the north of Thailand that borders Myanmar and Laos. And so I rented a motorcycle, and he had his own motorcycle, and we drove there for just one night, and we came back. That was really fun as well, but I didn't have any riding clothes, so I had to buy jeans just to drive, and yeah, it was not safe. But because I had borrowed clothes and I had borrowed gear from that company, and so all I had was my helmet, a t-shirt, and a hoodie, and the jeans that I bought in the store. But it was worth it. It was really cool to see the Golden Triangle, the border between Myanmar, Thailand, and Laos. And we sort of drove over to Laos. I got off my bike and I walked over the border, but there was these military towers that were a little scary, but it was a great experience. I came back from that experience to Sweden when it was COVID. I bought my third bike, actually, which was the Yamaha MT-10. That was a really fun bike that I did not use to its limit at all. It was really fun and really stable to drive. Wait, I'm just gonna show this viewpoint quickly. It's just really nice here. That's the city where I live, Helsingborg, and across the water it's Helsingør, Denmark. Yeah, it is really nice here. But yeah, that bike was really fun to have, but I felt like I was missing out and I couldn't take it where I wanted to take it. I wanted to have a bike that could do anything and where I could go on adventures, and of course you could do long distance rides with that bike, but yeah, it wasn't a perfect fit for me, and that's where I am now with this bike.